Code word Sassafras. Welcome, all y'all. It's been a long time since I've been on here, and I'm just gonna take it real slow here for you. This is, I thought I'd come on here and do another Lotus Wolf podcast. You haven't seen me in a while. I've been busy doing a lot of audio. Go back in the channel and check all those videos, audio out. So today I just thought I'd come on, for like maybe a birthday holiday kind of podcast here. Lotus Wolf podcast here. Lotus Wolf Pod, Lotus Wolf, however you know me as. Thought I'd come on here and just give you a little bit of an update. It's been a while, so let you know I'm still alive, kicking it, doing well. Haven't been abducted by any UFOs or aliens or anything. We make them all my friends and everything. You know, Donald Trump became the president again. Like, that's the only time in history. Like, this the second time in history that that's ever happened. It's crazy, eh? So, anyway, the reason I got into even thinking about putting my goofy mug in front of a camera was Tom Green in the first place. So, I know he's been doing a lot of podcasts. I've been following him for since I guess the Bum Bum song and all that. But Webovision, and Positive Vibes for Life, Tom Green, his newest video he came on, and like it's been months since I've done this. So I'm just thought I'd come on and say a couple of things, maybe just let you know I'm still here, and you've been hearing a lot of audio tracks by me. If not, check them out. Just go back into my channel, and I've been doing a lot of new songs. Met up with this producer Entropy from Ohio, and we've been doing some collaborations together, and it just seemed to click pretty well. So check that all out too. There's a lot of audio tracks, and uh, I've been I the newest one I did was a song I did for my friend who is making a movie. He just got back from New England for 4 weeks, no, 6 weeks. He was in New England for 6 weeks filming a horror movie, and that's Zack Cherry or the Picker Pod. He likes to talk about Scream and stuff, and he's been my homie since back in school. Doing the newspaper and everything together. And taking it over and trying to put those subliminal explicit messages in the in the daily school newspaper and stuff. And we did our first horror movie, which was like about 2 minutes long, running around in the woods, Blair Witch style. And the knife was like a plastic, I don't know, like a thing you stir juice with and stuff. And he played the girl, and he played, I think, for hair. We were so low budget, he used a towel as hair, and it was just me and him running around up in the woods pretending, like it was a horror movie and stuff. And little did I know that he was gonna, grow up and do his podcast. If you don't know, all the links are down in the description here. But I didn't know he's making a movie, and he's going to be the next big director. But remember where it all started, right? Our campy little 2 minute horror movie became his about 10 minute short, which is going to become kind of like a Saw kind of thing. It started with like a 8 or 10 minute short video, and then it becomes something, and then it becomes a franchise. So that's called Macabre, if you don't know how to say that. So I just posted all of the new kind of lyrical concepts, kind of songs. That those are the last ones that I posted. So if you just like go back one or two or three or four, check out the Macabre new lyrical songs that I did. These are just demos, by the way. Kind of mixtape kind of stuff. No copyright infringements or anything. Uh, you know, because I did use a couple other people's beats. That's always the way I've done it for like as long as I can remember. So go check that out. And lots of audio. I've been doing a lot of audio tracks. All the stuff on YouTube is probably like not even half of what I actually record. It's just like the little bit of good stuff, maybe. Maybe you think so, maybe you don't. Either way, check it out. This is the Lotus Wolf Podcast, the birthday holiday edition. Thank you for tuning in. If you're still here at this point, then you know how campy we get in here, and it's just like, it's all cool though. So, either way, I've been, I guess, listening to Billie Eilish and Phineas a lot, right? Their new albums just came out, so that's Billy's new "Hit Me Hard and Soft." I'm gonna just kind of put it right there, and then Phineas's new CD, which is just as good. I like it how they don't really feature each other's vocals on each other's albums. Although Phineas does all the work, right? Like he does all the instrumentals and everything on everything, but he's just as good on a solo tip. He's just as good, you know. So if you don't know, now you know. If you don't know and maybe need to know, maybe now you know. Maybe now you'll check it out. So the O'Connells, they're doing real good, and I enjoy their music anyway. I'm a rapper, but I'm not subjected to. Hopefully, you know. So been watching a lot of just Sassafras, Cold Word, Condemned, Tom Green, Webovision, Positive Vibes kind of stuff. At his farm with his animals, I want to give them a shout out right here. Charley the potcake dog, Fanny the mule, Kia the donkey. If Tom, if you're watching this, Sassafras, and say hi to your animals for me. Maybe you'll tell them Lotus Wolf said hi or whatever. It was cool meeting you in Calgary at your comedy show. We had a moment there, and you used my picture that night as like the best picture taken, and that's cool. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Tom Green. That's awesome. You've really made an impact on my podcast making experience. We might still be at the beginning of this, but it's uh, it's going, and it's going, and it's going. So I don't know, talking about new things, interesting things. So again, I want to say I just bought this Deryck Whibley's new book called Walking Disaster, which I think it's subtitled "My Life Through Heaven and Hell." And man, if you don't got yourself a physical copy of that, and if you like Sum 41 in any way, Team Deryck, not Avril, thank you very much. Check this out. It's an actual book, it's got that nice cover and everything to it. Smells like new car to me. So check that out. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but lo and behold, there's going to be some tales in there that are they're pretty crazy, which leads up to right now. And you know uh, hope everything's good for you. Hopefully I'll someday be able to come and visit you and maybe record some things in Mr. Biz studio, like that's I really think that we'd click and hit it off really well. So if you haven't checked out that new book, and it's got pictures in it. It's got some pictures in it, right? Of some 41 back in their days, little punk ass kids and stuff, and up to like now. And I mean, you could probably go into, I could probably pick any page and find the word fuck in there. Just look. Oh, there you go. Fuck. I always like it when you could, when the word fuck is on every page. That's just a thing, right? It's an expression of what you do and everything. So that's cool. And oh yeah, the new movie by the Trailer Park Boys presents Standing on the Shoulders of Kitties, which is the new movie that just came out in theaters, in like the cineplexes, cinemas, and everything. And that's the story of how Bubbles and his band, the Shitrockers, uh, formed and went and made like the craziest country western album ever. Seriously, like at like Abbey Road Studios, where I guess that's where the Beatles did a lot of their stuff. And you know, Mike Smith, who was Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys, went there, and I think he did a song with what was it, Robin Cook from the Rolling Stones and stuff too, as well. So, and then they made a whole album plus all the like little songs he's been doing the last decade. They're all on there, mastered, and you got a full length album from Bubbles and the Shitrockers. Trailer Park Boys will never die, and that's cool, man. And if if you're watching this, you know, when that movie's still in the theaters, go check that out. You know, that'll be a fun time. Almost 2 hours in the theater of you know, Trailer Park Boys are going to be in there, and Randy will always be a Trailer Park Boy, like a fourth one, right? He's a Trailer Park Boy too. So you got Bubbles, Ricky, and Julian, and Randy, the Trailer Park Boys, on Bubbles' journey with Billy Bob Thornton is in there as well, and making, you know, Bubbles and the Shitrockers debut CD Longhauler record. There's different kinds too, like colors and stuff. You know, vinyl's all the rage. Vinyl's coming back, but I was in the age, I was born in the age of, you know, cassettes. Like that was just after like 8 tracks, records, and there's cassettes. But I'm pretty much in the CD age, you know, and then, you know, like vinyl's coming back, and everything's digital now. I'll admit everything's digital, but I'm still like old school. Go out to the store, buy the CD on the release day, like the new ones, like this one, for example. Linkin Park's new CD. I was skeptical at the beginning to buy From Zero, uh, which is Linkin Park's brand new CD. You know, because I've really appreciated Linkin Park for my whole life since the hybrid theory and all that. You know, and the fact that, you know, Chester left the world and everything, that really impacted me and everything. And they were going to release a new album, but the singer was going to be a girl. I At first I thought, you know what? You can't replace Chester in Linkin Park. But you know, I listened to the first couple of singles, the videos, and I liked them, and I realized, you know, it's got all the members of Linkin Park, the original ones, and pretty much Mike Shinoda is singing most of the time anyway, and he's Linkin Park, you know, Fort Minor and all that. So I'm like, you know what? It's got to happen. Got to go out. Got to get Linkin Park's new album. You know, and that girl, Emily Armstrong, she just adds to all of the like the vibes on it. And I was skeptical at first, I'll admit, but it became actually pretty good. And I listened to this, and it's good. It's not trying to replace Chester. It's just the next generation of Linkin Park, and nobody will ever forget Chester Bennington. You know, R.I.P. Still. But Emily Armstrong, she's pretty cool. They sound good together. The new Linkin Park album, From Zero, is freaking awesome. There's not enough songs on there though. So, I mean, next album, you know, you got 80 minutes, maybe put like 21, 22 songs on there. Maybe have a couple of interludes or whatever. An intro and an outro. So, Linkin Park, check that out. Uh, go buy it, support the artist, and then go back and buy all of Linkin Park's old albums with Chester on vocals and everything, and Fort Minor. You know, Mike Shinoda, because he's the shit, right? And at the same time, I went, you know, I just saw Marilyn Manson, and he just came out with a new album too. What was it? One Assassination Under God, Chapter 1, right? And that is just to prove that I actually got that, right? I just saw him in concert, and you can go back. I have some footage of that on my channel here as well. But not one bad song on there. And, the first time he played one of the brand new songs from there was the first time he played it at the concert that I saw. I think it was Raise the Red Flag, which is ended up being that's one of my favorite songs on it. And very very good, awesome album from Marilyn Manson. And going, like talking about anti-bullying and stuff when you actually read in the lyrics and everything. And I thought that was pretty cool too. Going kind of saying don't bully people, be nice to each other, and but you can still be cool, you can still be fucking rowdy and loud, just, be nice to your fellow man, right? And all the versions they had at the store were all had a big crack in the middle, except one, right? And this one actually had, if you look in the back, it has like it looks like wolf scratches, like four wolf scratches. So I guess that was the version that was meant for me to have. Awesome. Check out Marilyn Manson's new album. It's also on vinyl, but I'd be rolling with the compact disc still, and I got some vinyls, and vinyl is cool. Cassette tapes are cool. 8 tracks, I don't know if they're as cool anymore. I don't know if you have like 8-track players anymore, but they were cool and everything. So that's that. And then I know this is gonna totally I think it was my last podcast a couple 3 months ago. I was talking about Taylor Swift and everything. Someone who likes Marilyn Manson and Linkin Park could like Taylor Swift, right? But then they got a copy of not when they released it. There was one. There was like the CD, the Tortured Poets Department. There was like what, 5 or 6 different versions, right? And I didn't know, I wanted all the songs. And lo and behold, last week she released a version which has both 2 CDs, which has the original, the bonus CD, which is a whole other CD, which has like the prophecy and which is my favorite song off of the Tortured Poets Society Department. I always say Society Department, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Plus 4 bonus acoustic tracks. So it's got basically all of them in there, right? Both albums, plus 4 extra songs in one little CD case. So I was down. I was down to buy that. I'll admit I kind of like her a little bit. But on the same day, I found this one. And this is funny because to you it probably looks like normal. But actually, in actuality, if you look at this CD by Charley XCX, uh, it's all backwards. All the writing, all the writing is backwards. And now the writing now actually probably looks right. And that's pretty messed up. But actually now doing this podcast, I can make it look right. But the thing is, I saw this, and I'm like, Charley XCX, she does things with Kesha, Tovlo, who else was it? Lord, Kesha, Tovlo, Lord, Julian Casablancas, AG Cook and everything. But so I bought it, and it's like 2 discs as well. Like if it's got 2 discs in it, I'm down, right? So it's got like A and B, right? It's got her album there. But the first disc is her album, I guess it's called Brat. And then it's got a whole second disc, which is all the tracks remixed plus 3 bonus tracks. I love it when they do that, right? They include the original album, then they include a remix album or a second album or something, and then like a bunch of bonus tracks too. That's the thing you get when you buy compact discs, right? CDs. But the thing is, it's backwards. It's actually backwards. Like, and you look at all the lyrics in there, and they're all backwards. Like, if I tried to read this right now, like, it's all backwards. So you gotta like put it up to a mirror or something, and then you can read along with the lyrics. But if you just look at it like this, you actually can't read along with the lyrics because nobody. Well, maybe some people could read backwards like that, but like you have to put it like in front of a mirror or in front of there or something. So I thought that was cool. That's anyway every way to get a party started. You put that in, and it's just like and that's the first CD I've ever got by Charley XCX. She's been doing things, but that was cool. I'm like, that's not just an album. And when I went up to the register, I was like, does this actually have any songs on it? Like, does it actually have any tracks, like music on it? And they're like, yeah, it does. And I'm like, sold. You sold me. So another thing, and then getting into motion pictures. I like music, motion pictures, and stuff. There's been a lot of stuff out lately. I'm. Don't judge me, but I'm a sucker. I bought Deadpool versus Wolverine. I like those actors. I like, but I hadn't seen the first two Deadpools, right? Um, a girl I know actually does have the first two, and I did watch them. And this is like I guess it would be the third one, but I mean Mr. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and the two of them together, I'm just like, you can't say no to that. You can't, I know it's Marvel and stuff. I've been getting a little bit more into Marvel, but I do like DC comics. That's a whole other podcast right there. But then, like Blade and Elektra come back in there. It's like, WTF, hey? When I didn't even know that. When when Blade, sorry, spoiler alert. When Wesley Snipes and Jennifer Garner come back in there and team up with them like the losers. The Avengers don't want these guys. The X-Men don't want these guys. The Fantastic Four don't want these guys. So they become their own group. Freaking Blade and Elektra and stuff. That's some crazy shit, man. So that's like, but my favorite movie of all time in the last, like, let's say, I don't know, in a long, long while, is this one, Maxine. That movie blew my fucking head off. the, the fact that they label it as a horror movie, which, I mean, I like horror movies, thrillers, comedies, whatever, you know. But that movie, like, I've already watched it like 4 times, and I've owned it like what, like 3 weeks or something. It's just really that good. And what they did, because I know it's the third one. The first one was X, the second one was Pearl, and then this is like part three. But I think this one is probably my favorite. And Kevin Bacon in there, Mia Goth, that is some that is some great stuff, man. Like that movie, like from the opening scene, it's just like on ADD the whole way through, and like the lighting, the directing, the acting, the kill scenes and the deaths, and like her journey through Hollywood and up. Well, I don't want to give away too much. Just check it out. If you like horrors, thrillers, Hollywood, Mia Goth, Kevin Bacon, or anything, or you've watched X or Pearl, then and you haven't watched this one yet, that's pretty much a thing. you probably should watch is Maxine. And that's with three X's, by the way. So, and then, in the store and stuff, it's like this this shit with Juggalos, Insane Clown Posse, and all that, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to have myself one of these, the Twisted Funko Pops, right? Plus, it was, like you just they have them stacked up in the record store by my house and stuff. So I had to get myself one of those. Twisted, ICP, Blaze, Dark Lotus, Clowns for life. That's just the way it is. Actually, you know what? Take this, put it right up there. There, now you can actually see it. Right? You got Madrox and Monoxide. Monoxide just came out with the Chainsmoker 2. Madrox has his solo album coming out in January. And of course, everybody in the Juggalo world is anticipating the last Joker's card, the sixth Joker's card of the second deck, produced by Mikey Clark by the Insane Clown Posse, hopefully being made now. And I want to see what the cover looks like, what the track listing is. Like ICP's friends with William Corgan, which is the lead singer from Smashing Pumpkins. They're into wrestling, and they're with Clownvis Presley and everything. And hopefully Ouija Mac or Big Hoodoo's on there too. Maybe Pearl Jam. Like what does Eddie Vedder got going on that's so good he couldn't be a guest appearance on the last Joker's card of the second deck, right? And hopefully William Corgan will be on there somewhere, at least on one or two tracks, or maybe produce it or something, because they're all homies now, because they all wrestle. He's got his own wrestling federation. David Arquette, all of them, maybe they could all just get together and do something on this last Joker's card. Mike Clark, make it happen. Straight Detroit, wicked shit, hip hop for life. Big Hoodoo, Ouija Mac, get them on there maybe on a track or whatever, different tracks. And of course, everybody just wants Twisted and ICP to just squash this shit. Like, we can hope, right? We can hope. So, like, I guess that's what I wanted to say. Go check out all the things. Maybe you didn't know about a couple of those things that I just talked about there. Uh, there's lots of things that have happened in the last couple of months since we've talked last. I don't know, maybe it was more than that, 3 or 4 months or something. Either way, this is my new Lotus Wolf podcast, my birthday holiday podcast. And I hope you enjoyed or had a little bit of, we're schooled in a little way by something. And if you're still watching now, that's cool. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the other people, my fellow peers, the best of the best on YouTube. Like you got Shaggy Show. Like that shit always makes me laugh. Whenever I see Shaggy Two Dope on his show, and Manny, man, like they find it's like when they Google something like stupid or silly, I'm I always end up laughing my ass off because of that. And for sure, like what is it? Devin the Dark Explorer. If you haven't checked it out, Dark Exploration. He goes to different places around the world. Actually, not around the world. In the United States, he finds these places that are abandoned or like out where people have forgotten for a century, and like he's the best at like the exploration kind of thing. And shout out to you, Devin. And Caitlin Marie, she's scared. She watches horror movies and then like talks over the whole thing and reacts to it. It's hilarious as hell. Always hilarious whenever you watch that. And there's a few horror movies that sometimes I don't get to that you get to, and because you get to them, I get to them, and then I get to see it. And if I like it, then I'll go out and buy it or whatever. And then, there's the book Leonie Crystal. She talks about books and stuff. And usually fantasy, romantasy or stuff like that. And I always enjoy what she has to say. Everything that she has to say is always good. And just the production of her videos and everything. And Clownvis Presley, to the rescue. Man, I said much wicked clown love to you, and you said much motherfucking wicked clown love back to me. And that was just like, phew. Your content actually it's Wednesday tonight, so after I'm done watching this video, I'm gonna go and watch Clownvis Presley and see what's going on because he does it every Wednesday night. If you haven't heard, and he's like he's like painted up like a juggalo, but sings like Elvis Presley. Plus, he does his own podcast and has his own merch line and everything, and has been working with the Clowns, Insane Clown Posse, and Psychopathic Records for a while now. So he goes and he hosts the shows for them and goes to the gathering of the Juggalos and everything. And looking at his face, just look it up, like Google it up, like if you spend all your days scrolling down on your phone and everything, then just check it out if you're down with that kind of stuff. If you're a juggalo and you don't know about Clownvis Presley, check out Clownvis Presley. He's cool. Just if you're having a shitty day, if you're feeling down and out, just just look at his face, and when he smiles, it's just like makes everything in the whole world better. Watch it. I guarantee, like, you'll be stupefied, juggalofied, wicked clown eyes. And maybe you like Elvis Presley, and he's good at that too. Plus, he makes good music and makes good content on YouTube. Hopefully, you think this is half decent, this Lotus Wolf podcast. And lastly, on this podcast right here, this birthday holiday podcast here that I'm going to give to y'all, everything's not going to be all good all the time in your life, but you know what? The times that things are good, cherish them, and when things aren't good, think of the good times or just look at Clownvis Presley. Watch one of his videos, look up a picture of him. When he smiles, there's magic in there. There's magic in there. And lastly, I want to thank, I would not be on here doing this if it wasn't for Tom Green, Webovision, Positive Vibes, Van Life, Charley, Fanny, Kia. He's back in Canada again, and he's got some new horses. Don't be foul now, or don't be a jackass or a donkey. That's Kia's job. And watching him, like, he does things the opposite way that they should be done and does them well. And again, if you're having a shitty day and if you're not feeling very well or whatever and about things in life, things are crazy in the media and social media and scrolling, and what is it, these UFO sightings, the postal strike, and like Donald Trump as the president, and all that kind of stuff. Check out Tom Green. Like, he, he's still funny, but he's wise. He might just be one of the smartest people in the world, just in my opinion. Sassafras. So he's the one that made me, like, around 2015 or so, want to go and go online and maybe make my own little podcast here, the Lotus Wolf podcast, as it's called now. So thank you, Tom Green. It was so cool meeting you and getting that picture and meeting Charley and having you say that disrespectful thing to me in a funny way. It's all good. It was so fun. Sitting up there front row was, and everybody here, if you can't send Christmas cards because of the stupid postal strike and everything, like all your family members are still thinking about you, and nobody's forgetting anything, and hopefully they'll work things out. I think it's all just like a money power thing because the postal workers all just want more money or whatever. And don't we all? You know what? Billionaires and zillionaires still want more money. They don't have enough money. Think about that. Billionaires don't have enough money. They're sad because they don't have enough money. So take that for what it will, what you will. And thank you, Tom Green. This is getting long now. I'm always like 20 minutes here, and it always goes into some tangent somewhere. So have yourselves a good holiday season. Check out. I'm more better with the audio stuff. I put a lot of audio up, and the last one I did for Macabre for my friend Zack and everything. Uh, for the movie, his horror movie that he is going to be coming out. Maybe that song could be in the credits or on the soundtrack or something. Either way, I think there's 4 versions of it, and that's just the very very last thing that I posted besides this. Stay safe, be warm if it's cold outside, and comment if you want to. Keep it respectful, and if you're interested in what I say, good. If not, you can walk on. It's all good. All right, well, you have yourselves a great season, and we'll see you in the near future. Lotus Wolf Pod in the house, Lotus Wolf Podcast, holiday birthday podcast here. Have yourselves a good one. I'm going to go watch Clownvis Presley now. Peace out, y'all.